Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Akhandam Satchidanandam Avang Manasa Gocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Ashraye Bhishta Siddhaye Arthatopyadvayanandan Atitadvaita Bhanataha Gurun Aradhya Vedanta Saram Vakshye Yathamati. So in the first class, we saw the first verse, which is the Mangalacharanam. Akhandam Sachidanandam Avang Manasa Gocharam Atmanam Ashraye Akiladharam. So I take refuge in the Atma, which is limitless, which is partless, divisionless, whole, which is Purnam, which is complete in all respects, without lacking anything, which is the source of all happiness, Anandam, which is the only existent thing. All other names and forms are borrowing their existence from myself, and is also self-revealing. It is a conscious entity, conscious being, which is the source of all happiness, and it is always a subject. It can never be objectified by your mind or even words. It's not the meaning of any one word. In fact, it is the meaning of all words, and it is not the meaning of any one word, because it is limitless. And it cannot be objectified by your mind, again because it is limitless, because whatever you are objectifying with your mind is all limited. And another reason is that mind itself is objectified by which consciousness? That consciousness is you. It can never be objectified by the mind. That doesn't mean you cannot know it. In fact, the only way we can know this Atma is through words, because words are like the mirror which reveal to you the subject. So even in worldly life, whenever we want to see our own eyes, for example, the eyes cannot objectify itself. So you have to go and stand in front of a mirror. Similarly, Vedanta is a mirror, and that is the one which is going to show you the nature of this subject. And this Atma is also the cause of everything. It is the basis for everything. Akhiladharam. And I take refuge in this Atma Swarupa. For what purpose? To do whatever I want to do, correct? Whatever I desire to do. Abhishta Siddhaye, to succeed in whatever I want to do right now, which is to write this particular book called Vedanta Sara. And Vedanta Sara has to be about this Atma. Vedanta itself, the subject matter of Vedanta is to reveal the nature of oneself. So obviously you have to take refuge in that vision of what this Atma is. Then only you can even talk anything about the subject matter, correct? So it makes sense that the author is making Mangala Charanam a prayerful verse and says that he takes refuge in the Swarupa, Atma Swarupa itself. Of course, he could have also thought about his Ishta Devata. The Ishta Devata Swarupa also is the same thing. It's not anything different. So even the Saguna Ishta Devata also is the same thing. The Swarupa of the Saguna Ishta Devata also is Akhandam Sachidanandam Avang Manasa Gocharam only. Akiladharam. All these things will denote one's Ishta Devata also. So that is the first verse, we saw that already. Now, Guru Aradhana also normally we do always, because the subject matter which is being discussed here. How did the author know this? That is an important question, correct? How did I know? I knew it from my guru. That is a very important thing. Nowadays, there are many people without any guru, they say that I know this, I know that. Such people you have to be wary of. Okay, apne aap. My Guruji used to say apne aap. Apne aap. Gurus and all you should be very wary of. Anybody who has a parampara, who has learned it from their own guru, they will only know how to teach it. Because they have learned this knowledge themselves from their own guru. They have also assimilated how their guru taught the same subject matter to themselves. So they know the matter, they know how to express it, how to communicate it properly through words. Otherwise, the whole thing becomes just mysticism. Mysticism is not useful to anybody. Understand that. You will be waiting for some experience all your life, maybe doing some practices and all that, which may help you also. I'm not denying that. But it's not going to really give you the knowledge which will free you from all limitations. If you are just waiting for some experience, it will never happen. So it's not a question of experience also, which we will discuss later. But one has to know this from one's own guru, and such a person alone can also teach it to their Sishya. That is the idea here. So Guru Aradhana also is being done in the second verse. Let us see that. Arthataha api Advayanandan. So the Guru of Sadananda, who is the author of Vedanta Sara, is actually Advayananda. Now, there is also a tradition, Indian tradition, that one should not say one's own Guru's name, or even wives will not say their husband's name, or husband will not say the wife's name. They all will have some pet name and all that. How they call each other at home. In fact, in previous generation, you could have seen it. Nowadays, I don't think that particular tradition is there. That's why here, he is not directly saying my Guru is Advayananda, but the author is using Advayanandan as a adjective to his Guru, not as a nama, not as a name, but he is using it as an adjective to the word Gurun. Gurun is there here, correct? Gurun Aradhya. Gurun also is in plural, which is very important to understand. So when we do Guru Namaskara, when we do Guru Pada Puja, Guru Puja, whatever it is, it's not that one Guru, one person. It is always the Guru Parampara, the lineage is what we are doing puja, we are worshipping, we are praying to. The Guru itself is only a representation of the entire lineage. It is not for any one person or personality. That also we have to keep in mind, which is very important. Otherwise, again, this personality worship also has become too much nowadays. They even forget what that person taught. They make a shrine out of every guru, start doing puja, all that. And only okay, it's not something very bad, but one should not be stuck there itself. That is the point here. So Gurun plural, pointing out that the Aradhana here is for the Guru Parampara, the lineage, all the Gurus. So in fact, we start the class with Sadashiva Samarambham. So Sadashiva is the first Guru for us. Okay, Dakshinamurti. Or we can also start Narayanam Padma Bhuvam Vasishtam, like that. Narayana is the first Guru. Then Padma Bhuvam is Brahmaji. Then from there Vasishta. Like that also there is a verse is there for Guru Parampara, or Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam. Shankara is the important link in between up to my own Guru, Asmadacharya Paryantam. Okay, so like this, The Guru Parampara is what we pray to. That's why Gurun. But in this Gurun, there is always a soft corner to one's own Guru, correct? From one's own Guru only we directly learned everything. So nothing wrong in that. Okay. So, but even that, this author is putting the name of his Guru itself as an adjective, Advayananda. So, Arthataha api Advayananda. Not only, but Arthataha, by saying Arthataha means what? By meaning. So, not only his Guru's name is Advayananda, but his Guru is really even by meaning or literally, like that we say, correct, in English. His Guru is really Advayananda, means he enjoyed the Ananda of this Advaya Jnanam or this Advaya Vastu. Being the limitless, non-dual, conscious being, that is the real happiness. That is the source of all happiness, correct? When you do not look upon yourself as a wanting, limited person, it is always Ananda only. There is no doubt about it. That's not even an experiential joy or bliss or anything. The experiential bliss will go away because it is simply a state of mind. Understand that. Any state of mind will go away because it's only a modification of mind. Mind is all the time changing, in fact. As soon as you look upon yourself as somebody who is limited in from some standpoint, whatever Ananda you already had also will go away. But here the Ananda, Advaya Ananda means what? This Advaya is your very nature. It is your reality. And that Advaya, you are the source of all happiness because the only thing we love unconditionally is ourselves. Everything is conditionally loved. Everything is pleasing to you because it pleases you. Right? Everything, the purpose of everything is to please you, is to make you happy. That means you alone are unconditionally loved. Everything else you love because it pleases you. It brings the pleased you or the happy you. If something can invoke the pleased you, happy you, then that is something you think is giving happiness. But reality is you are the source of that Ananda, really. The Vishaya is only creating a certain state of mind where you do not look upon yourself as somebody who is lacking, who is wanting, so that even in that state of mind, whatever is the Atmananda is manifest as whatever joy you are experiencing. But here when we say Advaya Ananda, this Ananda is your very nature. You are the limitless, complete, Purna, not lacking anything, and source of all happiness. So this knowledge was so clear for his Guru. So he says, Arthataha api, also by meaning, not only by name. Name of his Guru was Advayananda. Arthataha api, from that we have to understand that by name also, Guru's name is Advayananda, but he is really Advayananda. And also, Advaya itself is further explained with another adjective, Atita Dvaita Bhanataha, means one who has transcended the vision of Dvaita. Okay, Atita Dvaita Bhanataha means what? One who has transcended the vision of Dvaita. What is this vision of Dvaita? Is subject-object division. So, subject-object division is the problem, in fact, taking it as the reality. And then even as a subject, you identify yourself with the body-mind-sense complex, and then all the limitations of the body-mind-sense complex become your limitation. But even the body-mind-sense complex, they are all only object of your consciousness. You are the eternal subject. If you are always the subject, whatever I see is not I. Understand that. That is a simple logic we use in Vedanta. Whatever I see is not I. In fact, you can take this to a very extreme extent. My Guruji used to say, I know that I am sad. Correct? I know my sorrow. That means what? I am not sorrowful. Is that clear? It may not be very easy for a person who is in sorrow, who is sad. They do not have this objectivity to see oneself like that. But that's the reality. If I know I am sad, I am not really sad, because sadness also is an object of my knowledge, correct, or my consciousness. Whatever I see, whatever I know is not I, because I am the knower. I am not the known object. This is a very simple Atma Anatma Viveka, we call it. It's a very simple thing. But can you apply it all the time? Correct? You have to apply it. That is the vichara, in fact. That is an effort you have to put initially. Later on, it becomes natural. How long you cannot ask. You have to do it till the time you don't identify yourself with any object. Whatever you see, whatever you know is not I. That has to be very, very, very clear for a student of Vedanta. Then what about all the objects which become evident to me? They are all coming and going, correct? In each cognition, what is the invariable? The invariable is consciousness is, correct? I see a table consciousness is. I see a plate consciousness is. I see oranges, orange consciousness is. I see apples, apple consciousness is. In all this, the table, the plate, orange, apple, everything is varying. Consciousness is the invariable, which is you, in fact. That we miss, in fact, we take that for granted, and we are only we are engrossed by the objects which are evident to us. But each and every cognition actually resolves into you, which is consciousness is, which is the invariable, which is Satyam also, because it is always of the same nature, it never changes, it never goes away anywhere. Even if you sleep and there is no object to see, you are still there as consciousness is. That's why you can get up and say, I did not know anything. You are the consciousness which knows something. You are the consciousness which also can know that you do not know anything. You are the consciousness which can see whether your eyes are seeing or whether your eyes are not seeing. You are the consciousness to whom it becomes evident whether your ears are hearing or ears are not hearing. You are the conscious being to whom it becomes evident whether your mind is thinking or your mind is not thinking. You are the consciousness or conscious being to whom it becomes evident whether your nose is smelling or it is not smelling. From all these things, what do we know? I can keep on going like this. In fact, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that's it. So if you look at it like that, you are the conscious being to whom everything becomes evident. Whatever becomes evident to you, it's all coming and going. They do not have any independent existence of themselves. They are all anitya. Whatever is anitya is nithya. It is all only names and forms. Okay. That means they are not of the same order of reality. So any dvaita is only dvaitam eva. It is as though subject-object division is there. The reality is there is only one Chaitanya, which is the basis for both the subject and object, correct? The status of being a subject also depends on whether any object is available or not for cognition. If there is no object available for cognition, you do not have the status of the subject also, but you are still there as a conscious being. Consciousness is still shining. That is me. One who understands this reality has transcended all Dvaita, because Dvaita is no more of the same order of reality. Understand? No, Atita Dvaita Bhanataha means literally you cannot say that this person never sees any Dvaita. Then there cannot be any Guru Sishya Vyavahara also. Understand that. That's not the idea here. But one who understands that all Dvaita is only appearance in this consciousness. It's all only names and forms. They do not have any reality of its own. In fact, every scientist understands that nowadays. Right? You take any object, you can keep on reducing it. Namni namani, like this my guru used to say. Only names, more and more names keep coming. Correct? In a particular name, more names are there. And if you know more about those names, you become an expert in that area. Experts are all knowing more and more about less and less. Those people are experts. So you take any vastu, you can say, no, it's all only molecules, it's all only atoms, it's all only electron, proton, neutron, like that. You can keep on going. In fact, they also say that no, there is a consciousness which is required. At least some scientists talk about a consciousness. Okay. And so that also ends up, the objective world also has to end up in consciousness only. That is why there is no vacuum. Understand that. Even if you go to the smallest level, consciousness is the basis for that. Even below the quantum, whatever is there, that is consciousness. That is puja for us. That's why there is no real zero in Indian languages. Understand that. Shunya word is there, but that is a Buddhist concept. For us, it is puja. Shunyam also is puja because even if you remove all names and forms, if you remove everything, conscious, who is going to cognize it? The cognizer can never be removed. Okay, you can negate everything as Mithya Maya, but the negator can never be negated. That is the thing we have to understand. That negator's consciousness is always there. So even whether you go at cosmic level or atomic level, wherever you go, consciousness alone is there. That is you. Your reality alone is the reality of this entire subject-object world. So you have to understand that. Then you have transcended all duality, because duality has no reality for you anymore. In fact, Gaudapada Acharya will say that. So he says there is no there is no bandha, there is no moksha, there is no guru, there is no sishya, like that. That's the truth. The ultimate truth is that. But to know that, again, you have to go to a guru and learn. That's why we have to say Guru Aradhya. So this author also is doing Aradhana, worship to his Guru Parampara. For what purpose? He is now very explicit. Initially, he said Abhishta Siddhaye. Okay, whatever I desired to attain that. What is the desire now? Vedanta Saram Vakshye. I want to give the essence of Vedanta. Okay, to describe the essence of Vedanta. Now, to tell the essence of anything is not an easy thing. Understand that. Unless you know the entire Vedanta, how are you going to say the essence of that? Vedas themselves are Ananta Vai Veda, like that Veda itself says. There are so many things are there in the Vedas. Vedanta also is huge literature. We can keep on studying. One Janma is not enough. In fact, there is a story in Taittiriya Aranyaka. Okay, so I think this Bharadwaja Muni, he takes one Janma, he does Veda Dhyana. And then one Janma is over. Then another Janma. Then a third Janma, then Indra comes. He talks to Indra. There is a story like that. Then Indra asks, 3 Janmas you are learning. Have you completed? He says, no, I have not yet completed the Veda Dhyana. Then Indra says, it is like this mountain. Whatever you are learning is only like what is some sand in your hand. But see, this mountain is there. When are you going to finish all these things? In fact, you have to know. Then he gives some particular kind of karma and all that. But the idea is that these Vedas themselves are endless. In fact, we have lost most of it nowadays. Okay. But even Vedanta, you take so many Upanishads are there, so many Smritis are there, Bhagavad Gita, etc. So many Bhashyam. It's like a pyramid again. Brahma Sutra is there, Sutra. Then you have some Bhashya. Then you have Tika. Then you have Tippani. Correct? You have a commentary. You have notes on the. You have some commentary on commentary. You have notes, footnotes, etc. written by different people. It's all. There is something called Vartika also. There is a verse form commentary. So the first commentary is there in prose. Shankaracharya has written. Then Sureshwaracharya has written Vartika. Commentary on Shankaracharya's commentary, but in verse form. Then Anandagiri writes a commentary on that verse form also. Then somebody will write, Vishnu Devananda will write a note on that. And all of them are going, thousands and thousands of verses are there. When are you going to read all that? Of course, I feel that nowadays not many people are there who can commit all these things to memory. Because even today, if you go to traditional pundits, they commit everything to memory. I am not like that. I didn't do a regular Veda Adhyayanam, which I regret sometimes. But that's okay. We all had some other education, which is also useful. But they all commit everything to memory. That's why it's all even available nowadays. Correct? Otherwise, all this work can get very easily lost. Fire, our goats come and eat, our invaders come and set everything on fire. Correct? That is a tragedy. Invaders came to Nalanda. They were burning the Nalanda libraries for weeks. It seems. Correct? But luckily, many people ran away. Everything is there in their head. They again wrote it down somewhere else in the forest or in some other kingdom and all that. That's how it has all survived. So, whenever we read all these things, we should have great gratitude for those who have preserved all this knowledge. Correct? It's all our heritage. So, it cannot just remain somewhere. We also have to read it, assimilate it. It's our wealth, our heritage. Anyway, I was just trying to tell you the vastness of the literature. One lifetime is not enough. One can keep on studying. In fact, the study itself is a joy, in fact. What else will you do? Once you are a Vedanta student, what else can we do? Keep studying. There is so much one can read and enjoy. And in fact, by being with this teaching, it becomes established, correct? That knowledge becomes always available. So this Shravanam has to continue all the time. You keep listening, you keep reading, you be with the knowledge. Then only the knowledge also will be always available. It becomes your very nature has to be transformed. Self transformation has to happen. Your identity has to transform. So for that we can keep on reading, we can keep on listening. So here, but he puts one more adjective, yathamati. That means whatever I have learned about Vedanta, I am giving the Sara of that. I cannot claim that I have learned everything. Vedanta itself is so huge. We all studied one 3.5 year course. After that, can we claim that we know everything in Vedanta? Means no. There is so much more. We keep on reading. But Gurukula Vasam is also very important. You go with your Guru, you study whatever your Guru taught, you learn. Then also you keep learning. Afterwards also you study. But whatever I have studied, I am giving you the essence from that. Yathamati. That he adds. So he says, whatever I know, whatever is there in my mati, in keeping with that, I am going to give you the Sara. Sara is the essence, correct? So that is, these are the two verses. Afterwards, the text actually goes to prose. Okay, these are two verses initially, and now prose. So now Vedanta Sara, he has said, I am going to give you the essence of Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Has to be said, correct? Many people don't even know what is Vedanta. So now he starts from there. Very systematic, in fact, this book is. We'll see that as we go. So he says, Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. Okay, so this is very interesting. So what is this Vedanta? Vedanta, namely, Nama means he is defining it. Vedanta is namely what it is, Upanishad. Upanishad is Vedanta and it is Pramanam. Both these words are again are very, very important words. Upanishad means what? Our Shankaracharya gives, if you read any Upanishad and commentary to that, Shankaracharya is giving commentary and he gives the meaning of the word Upanishad. Upani Purvasya Sader Dhatoho, like that only he gives the Dhatu. Sad is the Dhatu or Sadlu. In Paniniya Dhatu Pata, there are also indicatory letters are there. It is called It letter, It Varna. So based on the indicatory letters only, what other suffixes can join, etc., and the rules governing the changes all happen. So Sadlu, Lukara you have to leave out. Sad is the actual Dhatu. So the Sad Dhatu itself has three meanings with Upa as the prefix. Upani, Upa and Ni also, both are prefixes, and Sad Dhatu is there. Sadlu. So the Sad Dhatu has a meaning of Visharana. So Visharana means what? Disintegrating. Okay, one meaning is disintegration, erosion, becoming loose and disintegrated. That is Sadlu, one meaning. Visharana, Shiryate. Then Gamana. Okay. Gamayati means it makes you know. Okay. That also meaning is there. Brahma Gamayati. Then Avasadanam, another meaning. Means completely destroy. So like these three meanings are there. Then taking this, Shankaracharya is giving the meaning that this Upanishad is Brahma Jnanam. The primary meaning of Upanishad is knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Gamayati. And what is this Brahman? Is it some other object out there? Means no. Because the Upa is the Upa means near. What is nearest to you means you yourself alone, correct? So it is actually knowledge about yourself. And Ni means Nischayana. You know that very clearly. So you know yourself as Brahman clearly. And that Upanishad again, that Brahma Jnanam, what it does? It disintegrates all this anartha, all the problems which you have in this world, transactional world, they are all gone. It looks like a great ocean to swim across, but suddenly you find everything has evaporated. There is nothing is there. Right? You are not even the swimmer anymore. That's the beauty. You don't have to swim across anything, really speaking. There is no ocean. And how did this happen? Samulam avasadayati, all this anartha, samsara, along with its cause, which is ignorance. So the Brahma Jnanam destroys ignorance and all its offshoots, effects. So Upanishad primary meaning is Brahma Vidya. That's how Shankaracharya gives. Knowing yourself as the limitless. Brahman is limitless. But the book also is called Upanishad, correct? The Upanishad, when we go to the shop and ask for Upanishad, what we are buying? We are buying the book. So book also is Upanishad, but that is only a secondary meaning, he says. So Upanishads also in the Vedic literature, when you look at Upanishad as a book, it is the last portion of the Veda mostly. That's why it's called Vedanta, correct? Vedanta means that which is there at the end portion of the Veda typically, but not all Upanishads are really at the end. There are Samhita Upanishads are also there. The Ishavasya Upanishad is really in the Samhita portion of the Shukla Yajurveda. That's not really the end portion. So there are many Upanishads in the Brahmana portion also, because Veda itself can be divided into Samhita and Brahmana. Samhita portion is where all the mantras are there. They are all set to meter. There are different Vedic meters are there, correct? Gayatri, Ushnik, Anuttup, Prittup, like that. Then the Brahmana portions are all mostly prose portions. They sometimes explain the meaning of the mantras. They also explain how to use these mantras in different rituals, all that. Then at the end of the Brahmana, we have what is called Aranyaka portion, where mostly all these upasanas are all talked about. Okay, those who have already done all the physical karma, at a later point in time, we cannot forever keep on doing all this Agni karma. It's not that easy also. Then everything shifts to mental activities as you become older, and that's what the Aranyaka is full of upasana. Then even in that mainly, these Upanishads are all mainly part of some Aranyaka, or sometimes in the Brahmana also it is there. But mostly they are all at the end of the Veda, so it is called Vedanta. So Upanishad is part of the Veda, that part of the Veda which reveals the Brahma Jnanam, Brahma Vidya. Okay, if you take it as a book. And it is also a Pramanam. That itself is a Pramanam, but Upanishad is specially a Pramanam. So when we use the word Pramanam, it is given some very ridiculous translation. So we have to understand what is a Pramana. In fact, even in the previous introduction to Vedanta, I did talk about this Pramanam or means of knowledge. So we can take it as a means of knowledge. We have our sense organs. They are all means of knowledge. And we also have inference. From sensory perception, we can infer, even if you are not directly able to cognize something, but based on some sensory data, we can infer other things also. So our scientific knowledge is mainly sensory perception and inference. In fact, enhanced sensory perception is there, because we have telescopes, microscopes and all that nowadays, and different scopes are there, spectroscope. Advancement has taken place in all that. So we have enhanced perception and enhanced inference also, you can say, because if you have more and more perceptual knowledge, your ability to do a lot more inference is there. So we have a lot of knowledge. We don't deny that. But all this knowledge is about the objective world. But even in the objective world, there are so many things which are unknowable. For example, Swarga. The Veda says, Swarga Kamaha Jyotishtomene Yajeta. So those who want to go to Swarga do Jyotishtoma. Now Swarga itself has to be revealed only by the Veda. Even if somebody goes to Swarga and comes back and tells you, you are not going to believe that person. You will think that he is some crazy person. So Swarga as an end, Veda only has to reveal. What is the means to attain that Swarga? Veda only says, Jyotishtoma you do. So some means and ends both are only known through the Veda. Then there are other ends are there. Putra, I want to have a son. Even Dasharatha wanted to have a son. He didn't have any children. Then what did he do? He called Rishya Shringa. In fact, Vasishta, I think, advised Dasharatha, you go and bring this Rishya Shringa and do the Putra Kameshti. There is a yaga, is there, Putra Kameshti Yajna. Don't think only in Ramayana this happened. It happened even some 20, 30 years back. We know some other people, they have done that and they have had son also. Even today it happened. It's not that only in Ramayana time they did Putra Kameshti and had Putra. But the thing here is, okay, at least having a son, the end is known, but the means, what the Veda is giving you is the Putra Kameshti Yajna and how to do that Yajna and all. But what is the connection, we still don't know. You can still say it is all only coincidence, correct? Or even rains, Kari Rishti. There is a Kari Rishti is there. If you do that, they say rains will come. In fact, in 1982-83, I still remember, I was in school. We had one of the worst droughts in Tamil Nadu and Chennai. There was no water as such. As children, we used to take cycles, go like many kilometers, and somewhere water we'll take and put it. We'll have one tube and tie it to two containers, put it on the cycle, and then bring it. I have done that a lot. We didn't have even drinking water. Then Kanchi Paramacharya said, "You do Kari Rishti." And they did Kari Rishti and it started raining also. Again, you can say it is all only coincidence. Because the connection also we don't know. But the end we did see that, right? You did this, at least correlation is there. We don't understand the causation, that is fine. But correlation nobody can deny. You did this, that happened. But if you take the Veda as a means of knowledge, then you will say that yes, this only caused that. Okay. So in some cases the ends are known, but the means are given by Veda that we don't know. Otherwise, you cannot know it from anywhere, not even science. Science cannot explain how Kari Rishti produced this particular rain or anything. But nowadays, in fact, everybody wants to prove Veda is scientific and all that. That's a tragic thing. In fact, we don't want the Veda to be scientific. Understand that. If Veda is scientific, I will rather learn science, correct? Why should I even learn the Veda? So the traditional understanding of the Veda is what? It is a means of knowledge, it is a Pramana, but it is something which is revealing to me that which is not available through Pratyaksha and Anumana, through science in fact, because Pratyaksha Anumana is science nowadays, sense perception and inference. So our Sayanacharya writes the Rigveda Bhashya. In the Rigveda Bhashya Bhumika, in the introduction he says, what does he say? He says, Pratyakshena anumityava yastu upayona buddhyate. Okay. So there is no way of knowing something through Pratyaksha or Anumana. Okay. So the things which we cannot know through our sense organs and inference, okay, revealing that only is the Vedasya Vedata, he says. Okay. Pratyakshena anumityava yastu upayona buddhyate. Okay, those things which are not available through Pratyaksha and Anumana, that is only known through the Veda. And then he says, Tasmad Vedasya Vedata. Because of that only the Veda itself is a Veda, is a source of knowledge or a means of knowledge. That is our understanding. Then why do we have to even talk about science and all that? Okay, some certain Anuvada we say, certain things can be repeated, correct? Veda, somewhere it talks about even like that one white light is is separated into 7 different lights and all that. So they had some lot of scientific ideas. They may be there in the Veda, but they are all not the primary subject matter of the Veda. For Veda to be a means of knowledge, we don't want it to reveal whatever we can know through sense organs and inference. We want to, because each, even previously we have discussed, the characteristic of a means of knowledge is what? Anadhigatam abadhitam, we say. It has to reveal to me something which is not already known through any other means of knowledge. And whatever it reveals should not be negated by anything else also. That is very important for us. So Veda is revealing there is Swarga. It's not knowable through sense organs or inference. And it can never be negated also by anything else. Understand that. In fact, this Anadhigatam, Abadhitam applies to all our existing means of knowledge also, correct? Whatever is revealed through the eyes alone are revealing to you. The ears cannot come and prove or disprove it. The nose cannot prove or disprove what color this particular laptop screen is, correct? Or the ears cannot do that. And whatever is revealed through the ears alone can know what sound it is. Eyes can neither prove or disprove. Nose cannot prove or disprove what sound you are hearing. Or what smell you are smelling. Again, eyes cannot come and prove or disprove that. They have no access, correct? Each sense organ is revealing to us some unique field of knowledge which can neither be proved nor be disproved by anything else. That is why you cannot ask proof for what the Veda also is revealing. Many people have this problem of what is the proof. You cannot ask for any proof. Then you ask the proof for what your eyes are revealing to you. It is the same status we are asking you give to the Veda. But you can say that whatever is revealed by the Veda should not be negated by anything else. That is fine. Okay, that is the analysis we do, in fact. We analyze the Veda and establish whatever it is revealing is not available any other way, and also it can neither be proved nor be disproved by anything else, also any other means of knowledge. Such matter only we consider as being revealed by the Veda. And additionally, Veda being a deliberate means of knowledge, correct? It is made up of words and it is deliberate. It's not like your eyes and nose and all. Eyes, nose are all automatic means of knowledge. Means they do not ask your permission before working. That's why if you go to some place, you have to close your nose. Because your nose will not listen to you. It is still, you breathe and it is taking all the smell. Whether it is good smell, bad smell, or some places we have to close our eyes also. We don't want to see. You go out in the morning on Sundays in India, they are having all this meat shops right on the road, correct? They slaughter and hang everything. We don't even want to see that really. I mean, it's there. We just drive the vehicle straight looking at the road. We don't want to look anywhere else on the sides. Because your eyes, nose and all, they anyway work. Without asking your permission, they start working. You have to stop them. But Veda is deliberate. Eyes and nose will reveal to you whatever useless things also, correct? So we stop them. But Veda has to have phalavat artha bodhakatvam, we say. Whatever it reveals should be something useful also. Should be phalavat. And that also is established. We analyze the Veda. That is all called Mimamsa. This analysis only is called Mimamsa. So there is a Purva Mimamsa, there is a Uttara Mimamsa. So the Mimamsa only establishes the Pramanatvam of the Veda and what it really reveals also. There are principles also in all these things, how we analyze. So all those things we will see later also. But understand this, Veda is a Pramana for us. And primarily, since it is Upanishad, the Upanishad part of the Veda, why it is a Pramana? Because it is revealing to you your own reality, your own nature. And what is my nature? I am the limitless conscious being. That's what it is revealing. You are not a puny individual suffering in this world. All the suffering is due to wrong identification with limited body, mind, sense complex. How can you even identify yourself with what you see? It's a very simple thing, correct? Whatever I see is not I. I am the seer. I am the seer of sight itself, correct? I am the seer of sight, hearer of hearing, smeller of smelling. That conscious being I am. How can I be all this body, mind, sense complex? I am the knower of the thoughts in my mind also. I am not the mind. In fact, most of the problem is because you identify yourself with your mind. Of course, bodily problems are also there. I am fat, I am fair, I am black, I don't have six pack, or I am deaf, dumb. All these problems are there. Or I am stupid, idiot, not enough knowledge. All inferiority complex, superiority complex, different complexes are there. All these problems are due to wrong identification. Okay, so we have to know our reality. And who will tell us our reality? You cannot know it yourself, correct? You cannot sit, turn your eyes inside, and suddenly know the Atma. The only means of knowledge to know this Atma is the Upanishad. It is a word mirror, the Shastra Darpana, we say. Shabda Darpana. The words of the Upanishad are like mirror. They are showing me my own reality. So you have to know that. And the Guru is the one who operates this means of knowledge for you. The words of the Guru, they are the ones which reveal to you who you are. So whenever you are attending a Vedanta class, what is happening? The means of knowledge is in operation and you have to let it operate. And when it operates, it is showing you in a different light. In the light of the teaching, you are seeing yourself, means you are wonderful. You have no limitations. You have no problems. You are the source of all happiness. So Vedanta is a joy to listen because it is at least telling you all these nice things about yourself, correct? It's not telling you are a sinner, you will go to hell, you are going to burn forever. It's not that. It's saying that you are the limitless. That is the equation, in fact. You are the cause of everything. From you, everything is born. Everything is sustained by you. Everything resolves back into you. You are the only reality. You are the only real conscious being on which everything depends. Everything is dependent existence. You are the only independent existent vastu out there or out here, wherever it is. You are beyond space and time. So this is the teaching. And this teaching is not there available anywhere else. You cannot arrive it by objectively studying this world and all that. Correct? In fact, why this Vedanta is subtle, somewhat difficult is because all our lives we are using means of knowledge and only knowing objects of knowledge. Correct? We know everything by objectifying it through our mind, through our sense organs, through words. But Vedanta, you have to know yourself. What is the difficulty in knowing yourself? You cannot objectify yourself. But the easier part there is you need not objectify yourself. That is the beauty. You are a self-revealing, self-conscious, self-existent entity. Are you there? If I ask, you don't have to use any means of knowledge to know that I am there. I am is has to be there already, even for you to become a knower. I am I am a conscious entity. This you don't have to objectify yourself and know. You need not objectify yourself. In fact, stop identifying yourself with all the objects which you know. That's all is required, in fact. Vedanta as a means of knowledge, all it is trying to do is remove all wrong notions about yourself. Whatever wrong notions you have, remove that. That's all. You are as you are. Nothing more is required. It is a pramana in that sense alone, in fact, really, because Atma need not be revealed by Upanishad or Veda. You as an entity, you are already self-existent and self-revealing. Everybody knows I am there, correct? Veda does not come and reveal yourself. Veda or Vedanta is only a means of knowledge to remove wrong notions about yourself. That's all. Correct? And any other tad upakarini shariraka sutradini. So any other texts which help in revealing whatever is revealed in the Upanishad also are Vedanta. In Shariraka Sutradini means Brahma Sutra is called Shariraka Sutra because it is talking about whatever is there in the Sharira. Correct? So whatever is available, it is an analysis about what is available in one's body, which is the conscious being, what is the nature of that conscious being. So there is a Brahma Sutra is there, of course. Upanishad also is there. Then Adi is there, etc. means all the Smritis, Bhagavad Gita, etc. All of them are also included. And any Bhashya on that, Bhashya, Tika, Tippani, Vartika, everything is Vedanta only, including this Vedanta Sara. So all these texts, they are all Vedanta. So Vedanta has been defined. Further we will see next week. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.